I think all the shootings are tragic. So first off, shootings are wrong. Those who felt the need to shoot police, who were out there trying to regulate crowds. In the same breath, I think it's wrong for some law enforcement who feel it's necessary to use lethal force when they're approaching blacks. I think what we have here, though, is few people making worldwide noise and getting worldwide attention. I think studies show that less than 1% of officers are doing these shootings and killings of blacks, and less than 1% of blacks are doing these shootings of officers. As a matter of fact, I think a study came out to show that 73% of officer shootings happen from white individuals. So pinning it on Black Lives Matter is the wrong way to go about it. It's no Black Lives Matter or protesters against the police at all. Matter of fact, right here in Orlando, we just had a march. It was called the Blackout March, and people may have been chanting Black Lives Matter, but we were chanting Blue Lives Matter too. And matter of fact, I stood right next to the police chief out there, walked with us. He and a lot of Orlando police walked with us. So here in Orlando, we have a unified front where people can exercise their First Amendment right and still get along with the police who are here to serve and protect. I do think there's a national issue, and President Obama's on the right track with trying to gather people in a room to get it out, air out the differences. But I think the way you follow it up is locally. There needs to be more meetings of that sort. You need the people in the community and the police to come together so that you can show we're all actually a part of the community. We all want protection. We all want to get home, but we don't want anybody abused or taken advantage of. And we don't like any killings. We don't like the black on black killings. We don't like the law enforcement killings. We don't like any of them. But I think the people protest more about it when you see law enforcement or other individuals shoot unarmed blacks, because 9 times out of 10, or I'll say 199 times out of 1,000, the officer gets off for doing it. I know it's very hard to prosecute officers who feel the need to use lethal force, but how do you justify a young man dead and nobody's responsible for it? How do you justify a young girl strangled or choked to death or just found dead in a jail cell and nobody responsible for it? So I think it's about also acknowledging responsibility and not just letting somebody off the hook because they've been on a police force for 25 or 30 years, but I think they should be held more accountable because they should know better. And I think also in Orlando, we're privileged to have a black sheriff, Sheriff Jerry L. Demings, who also just got elected to be the president of the Sheriff Association in the whole state of Florida. And I think from what he says, it's about creating a culture of respectability and involvement and inclusiveness. And he's worked to set that culture. I think Orlando Police Chief Nina has worked to set that culture. And I think everywhere they need to strive for setting that culture and getting that less than 1% of people causing the trouble out of there and highlighting the 99% or more who are doing good things and positive things.